Riders ready, watch the gate.
Hey.
Yo, look at you.
Mhm.
Got your own mug.
I know. My high
Oh,
school.
whoa.
I know we're spilling. That's okay. We'll just got work clothes on. My high school team gave me this cup, and it was Coach Carter.
I love it.
But I might see, you could see the A fell off. I might replace it with a U.
Oh, I love that too.
No, I think another O. Cooch Carter.
Cooch.
Yeah, that's where I was going with the U, but yeah, it could be an O too.
Yeah.
No or U.
U spells couch.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not
That's
good
true.
at spelling, bro.
Yeah, Cooch Carter. I like that.
I like Cooch Carter much better.
That's a good idea.
And you could blame the misspelling on the high school kids.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Damn schools these days, kids don't learn shit. Sons of bitches. Faulty
They spend too much
teachers.
time looking at their phone.
Horrible curriculum.
Shit.
Worst
Like you can spell curriculum.
Yeah, exactly. I could barely say it. Where's sexual chocolate when you need them? He needs to teach his kids better.
Where's Principal Chocolate?
Exactly. Principal Chocolate.
I got a meeting with Principal Chocolate right now.
What's a good word this morning, guys? I'm in the sushi village.
You are. I can't believe we are connected this early in the morning.
Dude, it is the craziest thing. I woke up, saw Hollywood's text, and was like, damn, dude. I was like, oh, windows open.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, boys, I was laying in this hotel room and thinking about cutting my wrists, thinking we were going to we're going to have to miss an episode. I don't know if you guys know exactly how upset I was.
Hey, here's the deal. Here's what I know. When I get a text from Hollywood and it has numbers on it and bullet points.
Oh yeah. EC does know me well enough to know that if I say number 1, number 2, number 3, that's when I've switched the switch over.
It's serious at that point.
Yeah, that's the business mode.
Yeah, but we were texting at it was 4:30 and
2:30 in the morning, dude. I was so stressed about the whole damn thing.
Dracula, were you out getting your food?
Dude, I was up here. I was either in bed or at the desk, going back and forth. And I was upset. I was trying to handle it, thinking, but I meant what I said. I don't ever want to do this without you guys.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do it with either, some kind of change. This is
the knobs.
Yeah.
We would need to have something like bloopers or cutouts. Like you got to have that just like ready.
Yeah. Dude, that's kind of dangerous if you think, JV, because Hollywood actually has all of the beef footage that we don't ever want to go out, and knowing how desperate he can get. So what do we got? We said we were going to talk about topics today.
Okay, hold on. Ready?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, great to see you guys.
Yeah.
Hey.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Dude, let me just tell you this. Dirty Knobs has taken on to the next level. We are, we're official event promoters with sponsors. Check it out, sponsors.
Look at that.
American BMX company, Toby Henderson and all of his companies have come on as a sponsor and a charter sponsor. Obviously, we have 4416, Ceres, Velocity, the big.
Of course.
Yep, of course, those. And dude, there's a good one too. Ultramax has come on board.
That's right.
And we have Colt. Don't forget about Colt.
Colt BMX is the sponsor of the Dirty Fest.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tim Engel is the sponsor of the Dirty Fest. It's just coming together.
What awards are we giving together?
What's that?
What awards are we giving away?
Oh man, Crit Plate is giving it. Crit Plate is a sponsor of the event. They're giving away number plates for every single everyone that makes the main event and racing, and all of the bike show people. We have some other interesting sponsors, very cool sponsors working their way in. We haven't finalized the detail, but you'll find out about all those on the next episode.
We got another sponsor.
Tell me.
Hollywood's Award Productions. Yeah. Hollywood's making special awards. He's already started collecting all the material.
I have. It's amazing what awards you can find. One man's trash is another man's trophy.
That's
I think
right.
the story.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was a fantastic meeting. And now you have a supply chain for your awards business.
Oh man, it's awesome. The campground is filling up. That's super cool too.
Yes.
Yeah. So we haven't opened registration yet. By the time this comes out, this event comes out, registration will be open. JV, where do they go for registration?
Registration tent.
See how I waited till I took a drink?
They go to the registration
No, I mean
tent.
online.
Yeah, registration
They
tent.
go to the trailer.
They go to registration. Yeah,
They go to the
next
porta
the Muscle
potties.
Power trailer.
Yeah, they go see Hank at Muscle Power,
Yeah.
and then they If they get lost, they can go see Bob Tedesco at the bottom of the tower, ask him about his OPG jean corduroy shorts.
That's right.
Just slip your registration in his back pocket of his OP shorts.
No.
No.
Oh, we lost bandwidth
registration will
there.
be done
On
through
you.
dirtyknobs.com. On me.
We did
Yeah,
lose
we
you for a
lost it
second.
You went
But
robotic.
there will be pre-registration opening soon. We're just finalizing that stuff on the date of when that'll be released. It's going to be this month of February, so maybe mid-February. But pre-registration will be taken online, and then there will be Friday registration before the weekend
On site.
on site. Correct. Yep. Yeah, coming together.
So I'm talking about.
Yeah, and the track EC
Yeah,
is nice. It's
pretty
nice.
cool, pretty cool zone, huh?
Really cool. Old school. I mean,
Yeah.
that's when I saw it for the first time. I'm like, this is legit old school. Like
Yeah.
the way it is.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, there's no like, it's legit how you see in the magazines. How the
Right.
old school. Yeah.
right. I think when we when we put lipstick on it and with the banners and all that kind of stuff, I think it's going to really dress up nice. The way that valley is and the way it all fits in there. So, yeah, I mean, that was, when we first hatched this idea when we were at Frogtown, and I don't know, one of the evenings we were sitting in the room having Modelo's, and I was like, man, I think we could do one out of Velocity. And then we started talking through the whole process, man. That was I could envision how good this venue would be for what we're doing. So I'm
Kind of
excited,
amazing.
man.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how fast that kind of came together,
Yeah.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
A lot of people for the swap meet are already chiming in, and tons of people for the bike show. Tons of people for the bike show. All
Yeah.
right. JV.
All right.
I understand that you had some topics.
Oh, let's hear it.
Well, the big, I think one of them we could tackle, which I don't know how long it'll take us to really think about it, but Mike and I were talking on the way to Velocity. We were talking about smooth riders,
Mhm.
and then we got to like, who is the smoothest rider? Like, if you can name three
Right.
in your top.
Right.
Obviously, EC, you could take yourself out of it because well, just us. I mean, people listening, I don't know, might disagree, but I mean, for sure, you're one of the smoothest riders.
Nah.
Yeah, for sure. So you taking yourself out of it. Who do you think? Who would be on your list as the smoothest riders of the day?
Straight off the top of my head.
Wait, I'm going to give you a second to think about it, because I want to tell you, it started off, we were in downtown Hollywood on these scooters, electric scooters that we rented, JV and I, and we are derbying the shit out of those things like they were rental cars. Basically, they're just two-wheel rental cars.
I never rode one of those things, man.
I'm jumping off every curb, flat tire on the back. It's just the thing's wrecked. And JV is just dark. He's just so smooth. He's jumping too, but he's super smooth, which brought on the subject of, dude, you are so smooth. And he said, yeah, smooth like, and he threw a name out there. And then all of a sudden that's how the conversation started.
Yeah.
Who do you think? So after a very, very short conversation, both of us stopped at each other and we go, oh, we got to talk about this on the podcast.
I like it.
Brother, I brake checked them pretty hard too, right before we ended. Yeah. And he's like, oh, whoa. Yeah.
He almost wrecked and fell onto Hollywood Boulevard because JV brake checked me. Anyway, your name, when we were talking, obviously your name came up, right there. And we just go, okay, wait. We got to talk about this on the podcast.
Dude, come on.
I don't think I was smooth like the guys. I feel like I was a smooth rider and very efficient, but I think these guys were just a little bit more smooth than me. So
okay, that's a good point you make up. It's a good point you make up though. Smooth versus efficient,
right?
Because you could look at them two different ways.
Right.
So go ahead.
I think the three guys I'm going to name are the probably I got four guys.
Okay.
I got four guys that stick out in my mind. So in no particular order, Craig Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Always
got that.
Super fan of Craig Reynolds, man. Like his style was really good, and he had those long, lanky arms and legs, and he was, for how skinny his legs were, and they're skinny, man, he's super powerful. When he was motivated, he was pretty damn fast. So Reynolds for sure. Hence his nickname, Dr. Smooth.
I was Mr. Smooth. Yeah.
Right. So
I mean, he kind of had it on his pants.
Right. So Reynolds is definitely in that upper echelon of guys that you could go to. I'm gonna go international on this one, man. Dylan Clayton.
Thought you were gonna say Hans Jobé.
Yeah, no, Hans Jobé.
Sure, going Hans Jobé.
Hans is smooth in a different way.
Yeah. Quick and smooth.
So,
motion. Yeah.
Long strokes.
I know. It was crazy.
When he was on his game,
he was efficient.
Yeah. Okay. There's a difference. Okay.
All
right. International.
Dylan Clayton, man, guy out of the UK, and I remember seeing him for the first time, and there was a ton of hype on this guy when we showed up at, I forget what international race it was, but it was like, oh, Dylan Clayton, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. So whatever. And dude, guy was super smooth, amazing track smarts, was really good at setting up lines and carrying speed out of corners, and also had a very relaxed body style. The way he carried his body on the bike, he was really relaxed. He almost looked sleepy, but man, it was just he was fast as all get out. So Dylan Clayton, Mike King, I thought was very smooth. What's that?
JV had mentioned his name.
Yeah, yep. Mikey was really smooth, man, and especially when he was, man, his like power wheelies out of corners, and how he could get through some obstacles, pedaling and stuff, and carrying speed while being smooth. He was, and obviously Mikey's corner speed, right? Mikey understood apexes and radiuses. So he would carry that speed, and it didn't look notchy where he'd go in super hard and then grab a bunch of brake and slow down and then have to reaccelerate. He knew how to flow around the course. And then my last one is an East Coast guy. JV, you know this guy pretty well, man. Ronnie Gasca.
Yeah, sure.
I loved watching Ronnie Gasca ride.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unbelievably smooth. I loved his style, and one of the nicest guys, man. I loved hanging out with that guy at the races as well, man, because he was just a really nice kid. And I always made sure I knew what Ronnie's races were, and I like to watch his races because I liked his style of riding, and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Isn't it amazing how different his list is from just our short little conversation? Other than
Yeah.
Mikey King, you did say Mikey King,
Yeah. I said Mikey.
and we both said Craig Reynolds.
You missed, and well, yeah, we did say Reynolds.
Yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
there's other guys, man. Like I thought that
Well, wait. Go with the
Give
top.
us
Go
a
with the
chance,
tops.
Give us a chance.
Go with the tops first.
Yeah.
Let Mike do his
Okay, yeah.
tops.
Well,
and then-
me,
and then we
you
can
want
go
to do
with-
yours,
yeah.
JV? You want to talk about who you talk about, or how we came to? Because we
Yeah,
had
no,
that same
go ahead.
conversation about
Yeah.
the difference between efficiency and smoothness,
right.
and how when we started adding names to this list. And again, this conversation, we stopped it early because this is exactly what happened.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
And but JV, you go ahead. You go first
Well,
on smooth.
on smoothness, I think Richie.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, you could throw Richie in there, the way he gobbled up obstacles pedaling.
God
I mean, it's
damn, it was
amazing.
fucking awesome to watch, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it really was. Mike and I agree on. I don't want to steal your thunder. I got Richie, but
Yeah.
Mike, because we talked about it. So go ahead, Mike. Tell him the one that.
Yeah, the one that we both said, well, wow,
Yeah.
that's got to be the smoothest guy, was Daryl Young.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Forgot about DY.
Mike actually brought it up. I'm like, geez, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Daryl Young to me was the epitome. Part of it was he ran a taller gear.
Yeah.
Like David Milham too was super smooth because he ran a taller gear.
Yeah.
And to smooth everything out. I'm going to throw one in there that's going to be before your guys' time. But David
Probably.
Clinton,
Who is it? Clarence Perry?
no.
Okay.
You said that with a
Smooth-
serious.
smooth
You
a
said that with
different
a
way.
serious face.
I
too.
thought it was Clarence Perry. Yeah. Okay.
David Clinton. I had the pleasure of watching him race a few times, and the same thing. Not just efficient, but super smooth, and
Right.
would take new lines that people didn't take to gain speed.
Right.
And he was just buttery smooth.
Right.
To me, that was and there's a difference between smooth, efficient, and stylish.
Right.
When you're smooth, I think you capture all three.
Right.
But you can be efficient, and the first one that comes to my mind is Eric Roop.
Right.
Yeah, we
Donnie
talked about
Atherton.
that. Yeah.
Donnie Atherton was super efficient.
Right.
You
You
make
can
a lot of
be you can be
mistakes.
really powerful and efficient,
Yeah,
but not.
and you can be stylish and not be smooth or efficient.
Right.
I mean, sometimes I'll just say myself and John Cruz are the first two that come to my mind. We were stylish, but we weren't always efficient. I did the best cross-ups in 9th place.
And sometimes you guys probably did the best cross-up landings.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be some
Absolutely.
percentage of.
Sometimes they don't get
Absolutely.
straightened out.
Sometimes, pleasing the crowd costs you.
You got to get the shot.
Oh
Got to
man.
get the shot.
Oh man.
Who
Yeah.
else you guys got? I like DY and Richie. I totally forgot about DY, but and he absolutely would have a heavy place in that argument. And Richie, but I was going to say Richie as well. Richie was amazing. So I'm in agreement. What else you got?
I had on my list, I don't know. I would say, I really have to think about it for tops, but early for me, Tomac, I thought was pretty smooth.
I never got to watch him really race BMX. I didn't.
I raced against him. We crashed together. I probably crashed him, but at some
We crashed together.
just
He got
because I
stuck on my Galindo
couldn't
bars.
handle it or something.
Yeah, he got stuck on my Galindo bars.
No, actually, there's a parting shot where Tomac is actually landed on my back. That's the second guy who landed on my back, Mike.
See?
There was
Somebody
one
wasn't
in
jumping.
one in Gillies, and then I can't remember where this was. It was a parting shot. I already ate shit, but Tomac was like on top of me. It's one of those where like I'm mangled on the bottom.
Officer, I was just riding along, and
That's right.
Got you
That was the
landing
parting
on it.
shot. But yeah, I thought he was, I thought he was pretty smooth. I just remember that about him. I didn't see him race too many times, but yeah, could have been wrong there. Who else did I have? Oh, another on my list. You guys might laugh at me with it. I thought Greg Grubbs was pretty smooth.
Definitely was smooth. I think again falling into that more stylish than smooth.
Yeah. He was
And I would put
stylish.
his counterpart, Joe Baumert, more smooth than style.
Oh, that's see now we
Right.
got a podcast.
Now, right
Yeah.
there,
Now we
can you imagine the conversation that's going to happen in Lincoln, Nebraska,
Yeah, right now.
Sunday afternoon after this episode?
Yeah.
Oh, those two are going to go.
we
at it.
we should send him a link to this podcast with a set of boxing gloves.
And
How about it,
commercial for Miller Lite. Less filling, tastes great.
How about it,
They're
boys?
just gonna argue the whole time over that. Just that.
I love it.
Who else you got? Mike?
Well, that's it for me. My list was very short. I mean, I
Yeah.
had one old school, one what I call
When I was a kid, man, I liked I don't know if he was smooth, but I liked his style. And I think it changed as he got older, man. But when he was a young amateur, and he was riding for SNS and Tita, I liked watching Pete ride. I thought Pete had really good power wheelies, and I'm always drawn to those guys that are coming out of the corner and everybody else has got their front wheel on the ground, and the guys that are power wheeling like DY, just got that wheel up and they're just dancing with that thing, man. And Pete used to do that when he was an amateur a lot.
Hey, here's an odd one. And JV, I don't know if you ever saw him race, but I saw him for the first time in Eric Carter's backyard. And he blew me away. Again, maybe not, I don't know if he was efficient or not. And I really didn't think he was stylish, but
Yeah.
you can't argue that he wasn't smooth. Christophe Levesque.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to
And
say
again, I think it goes to, he seemed like he was running a hard gear, a tall gear.
he was, man, that guy. Yeah. There's two Frenchies actually, him and Eric Minozzi, that were both really, really smooth guys, man. And they actually, when they would come to my parents' backyard and ride, dude, they really, really upped everybody's game. They raised the bar. We were riding at a certain level, and then those guys came in and started doing stuff, jumping jumps. We started playing this game where how close can you get to the double before you jump it, and landing in stuff, landing in manuals and soaking up. Like there's a triple jump, we would double it and land in our back tire and soak it up, that type of stuff. I mean, it was like, we hadn't been thinking like that. We were just hacking out there, jumping stuff.
Just jumping.
It really elevated our game. Dude, that actually brings me to a guy who is no longer with us. And this kid basically kind of grew up in my backyard, ended up being on Robinson Factory, and his name was Ryan Vanderveen. And dude, he was really, really smooth, man. Big E, Big E kind of took him under his wing and brought him into the factory deal. I mean, I think he was on Robinson, but not on Big E's Powerlight team, but he was really tight with Big E, and we would just sit in the backyard and watch him ride and just be like, man, how does he do that? How is he so? And he was 14
Wow.
years old, man. And he was doing stuff that pro guys couldn't do in our backyard. He was just lighting dudes up. Yeah. Guys would go home. They would leave the backyard with their tail between their legs, just completely, he would just ride circles around dudes, man. So, and super smooth about it. So,
What about Griggs?
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. What about Billy? Where do you put that?
I thought he was pretty damn smooth rider.
I think
man.
so too. Yeah.
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 And stylish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
For
fast.
sure.
Yeah. And fast. When you watch some of the rate. Oh, sorry, Mike. You're gonna
Yeah,
say
he was elbows.
No, I was just making the thing how he always kept his elbows up
He
and
had that
out.
stance.
Yeah,
right?
he had that. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that to me was not that drew down from style just
Yeah.
a little bit.
He was another really, really good coming out of the corner and just lift that thing up and just power wheelie out of the corner, man. Like super. It's so stylish when they do that, right?
They don't even do it anymore.
I know.
Charlie Williams.
Yeah.
Another guy, super stylish.
Yep.
You know, when you watch the races now, they're all smooth.
They are.
They're all smooth.
Yeah, I agree. It's a different.
How do you not be smooth over sidewalk, riding down the sidewalk with smooth?
They have rhythm though. They're doing a lot of. I mean, it's a lot of rhythm.
Okay, but you're keeping your wheels on the ground. It's kind of, if you look at the whatever the class is I race, the 75 and over cruisers or whatever they are.
Right.
They still look smooth.
I think
the tracks are smooth.
Yeah, it's a different smooth, right? So
it's a whole different kind of racing.
Yeah. It is a different kind of racing. And so somebody, maybe I put a comment out. Well, no, there was a video of me riding. I posted some video and somebody commented on my video and said, "Oh, I guess manualing wasn't invented at that time." It was when I was racing, and I said, and I commented back. I said, "Oh no, we manualed all the time, but the thing is, at a lot of tracks that we raced at the time, they just didn't groom in between the doubles.
You couldn't do it. That's right. They didn't do the middle.
You had to jump it because they didn't make a nice, perfectly round pocket for you to roll through. You either jumped it or you came up short.
Yeah, tough to manual through the mud pit.
Exactly.
Yeah, water hole.
So the courses now that we'll call them track. I'm going mountain bike style when I'm saying courses. The tracks are engineered and designed to not have stuff in between the obstacles unless you go to the pro line stuff. It's designed to be able to cattle herd motos through, right? If you don't have an obstacle that has a chasm in between it, or you have less crashes. So now when you have a 400 moto, 500 moto race, right? You can run more races because you don't have to stop for people crashing. It's the same with the corners, right? The corners are big, round, and you just keep carrying speed around them, right? And it's like, well, yeah, okay. So like if you don't put those horseshoe type corners that we used to have, there's less crashing. It means less stopping. It means you can process more motos. So, I think it is amazing to watch the really good racers of this day and age and how they're able to manipulate their bikes over and through the obstacles they have and how they can generate speed off of the smallest of the obstacles. Tap manualing and all the ways they can generate speed from nothing. Dude, the style, the level of riding, the skill level of riding to do that it's pretty damn phenomenal, and it's really precise. But I think there's a large group of riders in racing now that if they raced in our day and age, they would struggle getting through some of the obstacles that we have and some of the corners that we have because they don't have everything filled, rolled, and perfectly smooth.
Imagine, we say everyone looks smooth now. But if you took them back to Woodward Camp for the first 2 weeks when there were rocks all over the track and the whole first turn was shale, loose shale. It was, you think, well, how smooth would everybody look then?
I was at the last time I was at Grands, I was like kind of tripping out. Guys would crash. They would have, guys would dive in the last turn and there would be a crash and riders would fall, and their pedal or their handlebar would dig into the ground and it would, make a hole. And you guys know, when you were racing those ABA nationals, especially by the end of the weekend, man, there was
ruts all over the place. Yeah.
Holes
in all of the turns, right?
Big holes.
Dude, these guys
headset breakers.
Yeah. And you would choose your line accordingly. Sometimes you could choose a line entering high and you would cut down below them and you carry speed. These guys at the Grands, they had a small pile of dirt on the inside of the berm. And when those holes would develop, they would shovel the dirt up and slap pack and fill Bondo, basically, the holes. No holes.
In the 21 seconds they had to do it before the next moto came by.
Yeah. But I was like, I was looking at it just thinking, man, that is not how it was for us.
Yeah. It's a whole different world.
They
I
have
mean,
to. Those guys
yeah.
don't have any knobbies on their tire, right? So they have to
That's
fill.
right.
That has to keep being filled, right? Because their tires, if a turn gets broke up,
Yeah. They're slide out.
those tires are not going to hook up through when the crust of the surface breaks down and now it's loose dirt. They're not going to hook up. So, and disclaimer, I don't, you'll see a million arguments and it's going to be the argument that never ends. This was better and and our time was the best time. I'm not arguing that our time was better. I'm just saying it's different.
Totally different. I think there's
I will say that track grooming is better now.
Oh yeah,
correct.
grooming.
Correct. Because we didn't do it because we didn't need it to be groomed that way, right? It's just a different way, right? So
I mean, when they started putting asphalt turns, that was like, go Florida has asphalt turns. I mean, that was a big deal.
I was scared when I went to my first race on asphalt turns. I was like, man. And then sure as get out, somebody, I believe it was a Sarasota, Orlando spring break weekend was the first time I actually got to ride an asphalt berm. And somebody crashed, and I don't know how, but the rumor was that somebody had crashed in the first turn, and because the asphalt was so hard, they lost their pinky in the handlebar. And man, I remember thinking, dude, I do not want to fall and lose my finger.
Yeah.
Do you know what else used to, do you guys, Hollywood, you'll remember this. Do you know what I swear, this is the funniest thing. This used to scare the crap out of me. Do you remember Azusa, NBL Azusa, right? And you remember it would come out of the gate and it would go down and would dive down into that big pit. And then you would ride out into the first turn and then and it had crossed over itself, but the turns were elevated from the center, which was a pit. So you would dive down into the pit, up into the turn, and then dive down to the pit, cross over and go back around and go to finish. In the bottom of that pit, in the fastest part of the course, there was a drain.
Yeah.
And it was
metal grid.
Yeah.
And the gaps in the grids were like that. And it was straight up and down steel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew. I was like, there is no, I thought for sure I was going to fall in that, put my hands down and get a finger in there.
Oh,
I was scared to death of that track for
God.
that reason. Isn't it crazy the shit you get scared of?
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
I knew somebody was going to rip some fingers off at that race, man.
No. I think racing at Azusa, both Azusa tracks, was you had more fear of hitting one of those, those boulders that were buried, that as time went on and you kept going around the turn, the boulder would get more and more exposed. And they were 3/4 buried boulders in the turns.
Yeah.
And if you fell into that, man, it would break your helmet.
I know.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
The one other thing on what I noticed too, going back to the tracks, the races now, is, and I, maybe it didn't happen every race, but when there was a tangle and they fell or they got off their pedals, it was like game over. They were done. There's no, it didn't look like they were trying to get. I don't know if the gears are real high, because it looked like it was a struggle to get going.
You're talking about now.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's like they'll tangle up, and then already they're just like, maybe there's no way they can catch them because it's so fast.
Well, transfer system as well, right? Transfer system breeds that.
Yeah, we don't race they don't race three motos anymore.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, and it's pretty rare that usually one or two guys crashes, right? So if it's a semi, one or two guys crashes, everybody else is doing NASCAR Daytona.
Right.
So they're gone. You're never going to catch those guys.
Yeah.
Only Eric Carter could get up and pat people to make it.
Yeah. Well, no, that that comes to mind, right? Like the guys like yourself, EC, that you're staying on the edge of your seat the whole time before the moto's over, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Got to race to the line, man.
You race to the line.
Dude,
Yeah.
used to watch the amateurs and go, see that guy on the free agent? Man, I hope he hits the gate.
I had people tell me that.
Because then the race was otherwise, well, it's 12X. Who's going to watch that? Who cares about 12X?
I had people tell me that at races numerous times.
Used to hope
Dude,
you
I
hit
love
the
when you
gate
hit the
just so I
gate.
could see you pick everyone off.
You asshole. But
How is it when you're actually hoping someone hits the gate?
you know how honestly that developed. I was able to learn how to ride through the pack. There's a couple of factors from that. One, when I first started racing,
Okay, hold on. So someone's got a helicopter or
Can't hear
plane.
What do you got?
One of the three of us has a helicopter or plane flying over. It's gone now.
That's not me.
Could
So
be me.
there was a couple of factors that kind of lent itself to that, man. And one, when I was a kid and I was racing, I was really scared to battle with guys bar to bar. Now, keep in mind the tracks that I grew up racing, La Mirada and Irvine, those have big starting hills, man. So you were going fast, and it scared me. And so often I would come out of the gate, let everybody go, get to the bottom of the hill, and then I'd start passing people because it was on flatter ground and I wasn't scared. So I learned how to ride through the pack from the start of my racing. And then when I was 8, I took a clinic, a BMX clinic at the Orange Y. I think I was 8. I took an Orange Y BMX clinic with Eddie King and Jason Jensen. And I learned just the basic high-low and how that worked and how the corner speed and man, then it went from there. I would work on it a lot at home, not necessarily on berms, but definitely on flat corners. I would actually get the kids in my neighborhood that had Stingrays and all kinds of crazy bikes. Dude, it's the funniest shit. I think I've told the story before, but I would take 2x4s and ramp jumps. And then I would take, we were pretty poor. So we would save aluminum cans to get to go racing. So I would go dig into the bag of aluminum cans and I would set aluminum cans out in the street as corner markings.
Huh.
Your course markers.
Yeah. And I would send the kid, there would be a course and then I would send the kids in front of me and it was to see if I could pass them all and let's go. And then we would do that for a couple times and we would change the course around in the middle of the street and then we would do it again and again and again. And that's how I learned how to pass riders.
It's like Rocky techniques.
Dude,
punching like back, hanging meat for training.
But I mean, I was like 9 years old when I was doing this, man. Nobody.
Yeah.
I just did it. Nobody told me to do that. It was fun, man. I just liked it. And I was riding my bike and riding with my friends. And it was a way for me to ride bikes with my friends who didn't have a race bike and weren't able to go as fast as me. So it was a way everybody could ride bikes together and have fun.
Yeah. Joking aside, I mean, I think we all did shit like that. I mean, because we were on our bikes all the time outside.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
EC, did you ever practice? I don't remember. Did you ever have a starting practice skate?
Not until I was 16, maybe 15, 16, something like that. We had one. But before then I didn't have one.
JB, did you have one?
I made one out of wood. And
in shop class?
And nope. I made one. I think with Marlon. I think it was Marlon Pearson. We had one, and it was. So wait to hear how this thing was designed.
I love it.
It could only fit one bike, but we took a latch. Like a swinging door latch that has a hook. And we turned it upside down. So you actually had to slingshot a little bit to back off the gate so that the latch would drop and then the gate would go.
Dude, that's funny. You predated there was a gate that Randy Stumphauser made. It was called like the Stumpy Gate. And there was a way to do gates by yourself. And I believe that was the premise behind it.
You had to slingshot.
Yeah.
You slingshot a little bit because you had to get off the gate. You had to really press on the gate to kind of
Hold
like get
it.
ready to hold it. Right. But as soon as you backed off a little bit, the thing would drop and then the gate
See?
would go. Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
man.
That
How
was
about
the
you?
gate.
Hollywood, you have practice gate, right, Hollywood?
Yeah, I had a practice gate early on in this. I had a practice gate back when we were doing one pedal starts.
Yeah.
We had one in our backyard that was we had one that was on the backyard, and we raced to the front yard and ran around the circle and then came back. It was pretty fun. But I spent most of my time at Lee Medlin's house at his practice gate.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when sometimes Lee Medlin wasn't home.
No way.
Yeah, it used to be right across the street from his house. There was a little dirt field, and it was literally right on the side of the street, like where a car could park.
Yeah.
But there was a little, a 2-foot hill with a starting gate, and we would go out there. So did you guys do your practice gates I was going to say, this is a big change that happened in BMX. When BMX went from a cadence, a starter, drop in the gate to lights. Because
Yeah.
I remember,
Well, it was
we never had lights to practice with. We just had a guy that said, whatever your local starter said, that's what he said.
Right.
was lights and horns, right?
No
Da-da-da-da-da.
horns, no horns.
No,
We just had,
not back. I mean, when I started BMX not as early as you, Mike, but obviously 78, there was no electronics involved at all. There was whoever the biggest dad was, he would lift the gate up and hold the gate. Some would stand in front of it and then jump out of the way. And some would lean way back and hold on to it and then let it go and push with their foot, depending on if it was Mr. Cosin or Mr. Hunt.
that's right.
and
then
they would yell
one or two, and you were right next to him when he was yelling the cadence. It would sometimes, like Eric Cosin's dad, would literally scare the shit out of you when he'd start talking.
Yeah. So they would yell a cadence, whatever and it was always different, right? So it was actually really cool because you would go to these tracks and there was always a different, somebody would have different words, pedals ready, track clear, riders ready, pedals ready to go. It was all different. And then they would drop the gate at the same time. So you would try to get the cadence, you would try to get the timing down, but there was no electronics involved at all. And then the first time I saw the latch with the skateboard wheel on it over the gate and you push it down and the gate falls. The first time I saw that was I believe it was at Orange. They had one of those. So, and then
I remember riders ready, pedals ready, go. I remember that. And then I think it was lights. And you're right, because I don't think Braddock had a horn. It was lights first. Yeah. And then I remember when horns got introduced to it.
Braddock was ABA, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Braddock would have never, because ABA didn't do horns. Only MBL did horns.
And wasn't it funny how the horns would change from track to track too?
Yeah. Which
Some of those horns were real slow. They sounded like a tugboat on a foggy night.
I remember when they were really slow. It kind of was tough when they were really slow.
Evansville, Indiana was the one that got me.
Dude,
really slow.
And it wasn't just that the horns were slow, the gate too.
You could stand flat-footed until the second horn, then you could get on your pedals and get ready to go because you had so much time in between.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous.
But
I thought that was a big change.
Yeah, my first practice gate was a Gateworks gate.
Oh, real? Oh no,
it was a real gate. Little tiny box. I don't know where the hell that thing went, man. It was at my house. Maybe when we moved from Lakewood to Norco, it didn't make the journey. I don't know. I don't ever remember. I don't know where it went, but we used to drag that thing in between. When I lived in the suburbs in Lakewood, we would just drag it in between my two houses, and I would just ride on the grass out the front yard, out to the street. And yeah, that was, I think I actually won that gate when I won my ABA title in '86. I think that was the deal. I think I won that. We didn't have enough money to buy a gate, man.
Do you think the intent of a gate?
What's
Go ahead,
that?
Mike.
Go ahead, JB.
You cut out on us. Go ahead. No, you were in the
No.
middle of it. You were in the middle of something.
Well, I was going to change the subject. So go ahead.
Oh, okay. So last question, just on gates.
Yeah.
Do you think back? I think we're talking about the same time when I think Eddie had one, and you see it in the magazines when people started getting gates. Do you think the original intent of the gate was to try and get your timing down, or your first, 5 pedals or whatever it is, that you want to sprint?
So you're asking what was the intent of having a practice gate?
When you first, what do you think the people's intent was when they first bought it? And I'm going to say something else after.
I think it was, well, for me, it was it was all of it, but my focus, I can remember distinctly trying to focus on my second and third pedals and trying to really, instead of just mashing into the cranks, trying to get that I started with my right foot. So trying to get that left foot to kind of claw around the pedal and pull it up and around, right? That's why clips are so much faster, right? Because you don't have to do that with your foot.
You're not just pushing.
There was a physiological technique that you would do with flat pedals to push with one and pull it up and around, and then you would do it the opposite. And so your mind and your fast twitch muscles had to create that, right? And do that and be conscious of that. And so when you practice gates, if you were conscious of that as a technique, then you could hone that skill. So that was, for me, that was what I was always practicing, was trying to get those first 3 pedals, boom, 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 real fast, turn them over quick, and then get up to speed.
And that curling technique that EC had, now he picks up his dirty clothes with his feet.
Yeah, he's
right.
like
That's right. Exactly. It's amazing.
He can peel
Mike,
a banana with his feet. It's incredible.
What do you think, Mike?
I think it was, well, I had a different outlook on, I was working on technique. What I thought would consistently would get my wheel following that gate down all the time and be able to produce the most power as quick as possible and get to your spin, because it's a different cadence from pushing to spinning. I was always trying to get to that cadence faster. And more importantly than anything else is when I went to somebody else's house, was to beat everybody every single time on every single gate.
Right.
That was
because it's not a timing thing, right? Because every track was pretty much different, whether the gate was heavier or lighter, or the sounds were different, or the lights were right.
I think it was both, JV. I think it was a timing thing too, right? Like I think you needed to. I mean, that was why you would see a lot of the good riders, whenever you would go to a track, they'd be standing behind the side of the start hill. And for the longest time, man, years after I quit racing, if I would be at the track, I'd stand by the gate and my hips would go bang.
We'll move. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Every time
we all do that.
Because that was the thing, right? You go stand by the gate and time the gate.
Right.
I still do it at signal lights.
Right. Exactly.
To this day, I still do it. And that was one of the biggest changes that made when we went to lights, was it was supposed to even the field out, because at sometimes you would go to a local track that had a local starter.
Oh man.
And man, it was a huge difference. The local guys had a big advantage on how his cadence.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It took the personal aspect out of it, and it just made it. And then it went from, I remember then they've done all kinds of iterations, right? They've had the lights always be the same. And then they had the red light would come on, and then the green light would randomly come on at a different time. And then they switched back to the same every time. And then now they have this, the new recording, random start.
Random. Yeah. Notice that.
Yeah. The gate drops.
For how long did it have that same guy's voice?
Yeah, that was Duke. I think it was Duke and Neil. I think it was Duke and Neil for a while, and now it's Redbone.
Is it? I didn't know whose voice it was, but I just know it's the same one, all across the country here. Riders ready? Watch your lights.
It was Duke and Neil for a while, and then it switched over to Redbone. And Redbone said, I remember we got looked at, he's like, yeah, they never paid me for that damn thing. Because I'm everywhere. They never paid me for it. So
I was going to say, this might not resonate with you two, but there'll be guys on that listen to the podcast that will say, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." You know, the changing from a regular cadence starter that held a gate going to electric was a big one. But I remember when I first started, switching from a coaster brake to freewheel wasn't. And I say that because I'm building a coaster brake bike
Yeah.
for Dirty Fest. And as I've been going to bike shops trying to find a coaster brake, they're like, "Oh no, we don't have any. A 36 hole, we don't have any. Yeah, we don't stock that." But I remember making that change, and my very first set of alloy wheels, I stayed with the coaster brake. I didn't get a freewheel.
Wow.
It wasn't until after I bent that wheel, I finally got a new one. I went to freewheel, and it was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever raced or ridden a BMX track with a coaster brake?
No.
I never did. The bike before I got my first race bike was a coaster brake bike.
Yeah, I had a bike, a regular bike with a coaster brake too.
And then I went to the first race. I actually didn't race because it was at Irvine, and I was going to borrow a bike from the Brent Fay. Bill Fay was running. He was the league director. So I was going to borrow a bike from him. I was too scared to go down the start hill, so I didn't race. Then we went to La Mirada, which is crazy because it's the same damn starting hill. It's the same big, fast starting hill. But I ended up racing at that race. They talked me into sitting in the gate and letting everybody go, and then I would roll out after. But yeah, it had handbrakes, and it was actually really hard to get used to.
Yeah.
So because it is so different. And then after you ride with a bike with handbrakes and a freewheel, and you try to ride a coaster brake after, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you come into a turn that I got to take one more pedal to get it there. You can't just put the brake on.
Right.
Or I found this out at Frogtown. When you go to put the brakes on, baby, those brakes come on. It's like you can't scrub speed. You either lock it up and skid, or
there's no modulation, man. It's on or off.
Man.
Light switch.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think back about like when I got my first, why did I keep a coaster brake? Because our local pro, Kevin McNeil, was arguably the last pro to switch to a freewheel.
Wow.
I mean, I was thinking about this the other day about why in the world why didn't I go to freewheel like everybody, like all of my friends? And it was because the local pro, or the guy we looked up to, Kevin McNeil, he had a coaster brake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they were.
He must be. Yeah,
they were all chickens.
Didn't stay following his footpath.
They were all chickens. They were all chickens, and I'm a lion. Right?
Yeah, exactly right. He was a phenomenal racer, but he definitely rode on a different path.
It's so PC. He's just on a different path. What other topics we got? JV, I know you got more topics. What you got, bro?
I don't have topics. I have but it's more of a round robin quick thing. So we can go over top. Well, I mean, it's kind of like if you had two things to pick, which one would you pick? Type of situation. I have them left over from a lot of kind of like
let's do it.
Things we never used. But Mike, unless you have something, nothing.
Boxers or briefs.
You're looking. All right, we're gonna burn through this.
Yeah.
There's probably 10 of the, maybe eight of these things. All right. Let's start with an easy one. If you had to pick one of these bikes to race with, a slingshot or a bandito or a bandito that we get to choose the dropouts, which one would you race?
You lost me at slingshot.
I'll take the bandito with the back and the up and the down and the out, whatever situation you got it in there. I'd still take the bandito.
I would take my re-welded Huffy pay dirt from when I was 8 years old before I would take that piece of shit slingshot.
So you would you would take the bandito
for sure, dude. I'm not riding a bow and arrow.
Exactly. I'll take bad geometry over wet noodle.
I'm not trying to hit the target, bro. No archery for me.
Dude, I don't want to have to tune my bike to G sharp or F major or whatever before I get to ride it. Boing, boing. Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Oh, that's a good one, JD.
Who ever
Which
thought
would you
about
pick,
that?
JD?
It would
Oh
have to
my
be the
God.
Bandito. It would be the Bandito for sure. But I mean, there was something intriguing about that slingshot. I've never even ridden one. Did you ever get on one?
No,
I sat on one.
no.
I
I never got on one.
pedaled.
I saw when I saw guys get in the start gate, and when they would lean on the bike and the cable would lose tension,
Yeah.
I lost all interest on that.
I wonder if you could like put a come along on there and tighten those cables up and make your steering quicker.
The
Like a
only thing that
Oh,
the only thing that cable was doing was keeping the head tube from ripping off.
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, good
Second one.
JB.
God, that was a good question.
You have to use one of these things.
Uh-huh.
Clem twin cranks
Ooh.
or the Galindo stem that had the pointed screw, the snake bite that went into your handlebars. actually pinched your handlebars so they wouldn't move.
Oh, I would just use a Galindo stem and not tighten that thing up.
No,
For
you got to
sure.
use it. You got to use it. You got to
Well, I
use
would. All right, I'd use it. I'd still do that instead of a crank.
You got to pinch your handlebars.
Double the
Yes.
power, dude. Double the power. Clem twins.
That's what's one. That's just weight and one more. That's just one more drag. One more thing to drag along. No,
I'm going
Definitely.
Galindo bars myself.
yeah, I'm going Galindo bars.
Yeah.
Galindo stem.
The stem.
Yeah, Galindo stem.
Yep.
Galindo bars. I mean, who wouldn't use those?
Oh yeah, it goes
All
without
right.
saying.
You just said Galindo
Yeah.
stem. You didn't say Galindo bars.
No. All right. The Mino helmet or the
No.
Echo Cooler Series EC Signature.
Oh, I've already
Got to choose one.
I'm with the Echo all the way. I told you, man. Distinct advantage. Dude, I was cheating with that thing.
I think you. Could
I don't know if you call it
somehow-
cheating.
You could take like plaster or something, make a smooth thing on the Echo helmet, and put stickers all over it and paint it. You could change the helmet, and make it look. That Mino helmet, you're starting with an ugly canvas. It's just.
You're saying that you would use the cooler helmet.
Remember when they
Before
made
the
those?
Mino,
Remember when they
yeah.
made those Lycra helmet covers for those things?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think
Hey.
if you gave Troy Lee a Mino helmet, and then
You can't paint it. EC tried to paint it. It ate it up.
You can't.
Well, that was
disintegrated.
before
It
modern
eats it.
technology. You could put. You have to coat it first with something.
They have
you know,
those
like
new wraps,
baking-
right?
Like
They have those new
flour.
wraps.
You dip it in flour and egg. You
I
mix
think-
it up and you dip the helmet in there.
I think you could
Then you
put.
fry it and then
I
you
think you could put
paint it.
maple
It
bar
works out
frosting
great.
on it. I think you could
Yeah,
put
you
maple
gotta-
bar frosting on it and spread it around.
it's frosting. Little candles,
Smooth-
maybe a unicorn on the top. Yeah, no, you
Smooth-
could absolutely.
Smooth peanut butter.
You might have ants in your helmet bag later on, but hey, it all works.
I-
No,
I
wait,
can
I'd
I
much
can
rather
tell
have that than
I
a Mino.
can tell you I've actually put a Mino helmet on. I've worn a Mino helmet, and
Yeah.
obviously I raced with that Echo thing, and dude, it's the ugliest helmet ever. I believe it's more ugly than the Mino helmet. They're both really bad, but the Echo one was more ugly. But I will swear to this, the way it would amplify sound inside my helmet, I could actually hear.
You said this before.
I
You
know,
can hear
man.
people
It's the
coming.
craziest shit. It was the first thing that I noticed when I rode with it.
You were
It's like
on the
you hear-
track and you could hear Mr. Morales go.
I couldn't hear Mr. Morales crack the beers.
You could
Exactly.
hear Mr. Morales cracking. beer
Helmet's
in the
coming.
tent.
The cooler's
Exactly.
coming. Hold on.
Exactly. Yeah. It was like, well, I think it was something that had to do with the helmet. It's like, when you take a seashell and you put it to your ear and you can hear the ocean.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
put that helmet on, you can hear Mr.
You can hear
Morales
the
cracking
ocean.
beers.
Could you buy attachments for the helmet, like a handle, You know, you could turn it over and put your stuff in there.
A little chain that had a bottle opener hanging from it on the side.
You
There
could
was
buy
a-
the
The
attachments.
buckle. That was a great idea. The buckle was also a bottle opener.
On the back of the helmet, you could put a plug so you could drain the water out of it.
That's great.
Oh,
I wish I would have
Brother,
had the sense of humor then that I had now, because I would have done all that jackass shit. I would have had a bottle opener hanging from the side of it one time, and then I would have put cake frosting and some candles on the top the other time.
co-sponsored by Igloo.
Brother,
I'm gonna
the,
put the
the,
Igloo logo on there.
the drain thing on the back would have been awesome.
Oh my God.
I love that. I love it.
Oh,
I probably would have gotten Mino though. I mean, despite the advantage of the hearing component that you claim.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they
I don't
looked
know.
comfortable. They looked inside. I looked inside of Andy's ear zones, and it looked comfortable. But
It did. I thought the Mino helmet was comfortable when I put it on. It was very comfortable.
It's just
it was-
weird looking.
My
Yeah.
gosh, it was really ugly. What else you got, JV?
All right. I don't know if you ever wore these. Jocks Jag shoes or blocks of wood strapped to your feet.
ooh, those are polar opposites on the
Yeah, you-
polar opposites. Because
Yeah.
one is stiff and one is not at all.
I don't think I ever put Jocks Jags on, but I think there's probably a bag of tortillas in my refrigerator that's stiffer than those Jocks Jags.
Yeah.
The Jock Jag. I had one of those, man. It was not good.
Jocks Jag are they're like house slippers, dude. They're one step
Yeah.
up from house slippers because they have laces.
You know, it's funny we're talking about shoes. I just three days ago I went and saw I went to see David Clinton. And I saw JV later that day. And I went and bought shoes. I went
Yeah.
and bought some shoes.
Hold it, yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Your
There it
camera's
is.
not
There you go.
taking it,
What
but
do you got? Oh yeah.
old school.
I bought
Stan
some Adidas
Smiths.
Stan Smiths
Wow.
just to wear to David Clinton because that's what he raced in.
That's amazing.
And so I
Yeah.
I went and bought some, and I used to wear them in high school because David Clinton and Tinker Juarez used to race in those shoes. So I thought,
Wow.
ooh, they must make you fast and smooth.
That's crazy, man. I raced.
There were-
I when I was there was a time when I think I raced in K Swiss shoes for a while.
Oh, that's JV's go-to.
I got that.
Did you?
JV's go-to.
I
Were you
wasn't.
K-Swiss?
I wasn't. No, I wasn't racing in them, but I was wearing them the other day.
I love those. You're still a K Swiss guy.
Yeah, yeah.
They're nice shoes, man. They're
Yeah.
comfy.
Yeah.
They're very comfortable. I liked
Yep.
it. I liked they had the metal eyelet grommet things on them. The ones I
Yep.
had. I love those.
And they had a lot of holes, a lot
Yep.
of grommets.
Yep.
It laced back and forth a lot of times. JV
Uh-huh.
always wore those.
Yeah.
for a long
K-Swiss,
time.
baby. There you go, JV.
They were.
See?
That's when he switched from the Fila sneaks.
That's
Feel.
It's funny. We were talking about we're there, and he said to me, he goes, "Yeah, those are some new sneakers." And I was like, "Sneak? Who says sneakers?"
Hey, if you're on the East Coast, you do. If you're born on the East Coast,
So you
do.
could sneak up on people. Oh, they're sneakers.
exactly.
Like, sneakers.
That is
Yep.
funny.
Yeah. You guys are tennis shoes. Everything's
Yeah.
tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes.
Yep.
We call it in our house. We call them tennies.
Yep.
Go put on your tennies.
Go put your tennies on. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't say that on the East Coast.
You say sneakers.
Sneakers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't say that.
Sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
All right. Jofa or JT mouth guard? Mouth guard.
Yep.
Chin guard, mouth guard.
What do you say? That you wear one for comfort and you wear one because you have to. I mean, my first choice was never wear anything. I would much rather just have an open
True.
front helmet.
Right.
But if you had to wear one and you're leaving one out too, Harrell made the same one.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a chin guard, but you only wore them. I mean, for protection. You didn't wear it for protection. You wore it because the rule book said you had to.
Right.
Yeah, I in ABA I didn't wear it. I would just wear it in NBL because you had to. So Jofa was probably the, least intrusive because it would be flapping down. The JT
And it was
had the big thing.
old. It was more oval
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
in
old.
shape.
It was
Yeah.
old and oval, and it was designed for hockey. It was a
Yeah.
hockey
So I was going to say it was a
outfit.
hockey. It was so that hockey guys didn't get their teeth knocked out.
Yeah, and
Ah,
then
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was by the Jofama company made it, Jofama, but you just called it Jofa for short.
Huh.
And then the JT one was that pointed one, and it would
Pointy.
hit your goggles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would hit your goggles.
I'm a Jofa guy. I would go Jofa. I will say the Haro one was probably the most comfortable one.
I was going to say the same thing.
Haro went after JT and they
Mhm.
fixed the things that JT got wrong.
And improved or made the same level of comfort that the Jofa did. So it sat
Correct.
lower and it didn't go as high.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose Jofa to JT, I would pick Jofa because with the JT, you had to cut the top off.
Yep. It was too
Jofa,
pointy.
you put it on stock. And I raced with both of them. I raced with both. I had a Jofa when I was 8,
Yeah.
9. I had a Jofa. And then I had a JT when I got older. When I was on Hutch, I had a JT one.
I preferred goggles with the face mask that went to the goggles.
Oh,
I like that.
Oh yeah.
Hollywood was always a face masker guy.
Yeah.
I like those. My first choice was
JT had
absolutely
that,
first
right?
choice was nothing at all. If they would have let us race without helmets, I would have raced without a helmet.
Yeah. Well, that's how we rode all the other times. Anytime
Yeah.
we went to the dirt jumps, we had no helmets.
Yeah.
Ever.
So I only wore a helmet when I had to.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
We never wore helmets anytime.
Listen, when I bought when I rode a motorcycle in the street in California, I didn't wear a helmet until the governor passed the law we had to.
Dude, I remember going to your house when you lived in Huntington Beach or something, and we went to that crazy bar and we threw darts. You remember that?
I've never been to a bar in my life. How dare you?
I know.
How dare you tarnish my relationship?
How do you distinguish which time that could have been?
Anyways, he had just got a Harley, and I went to his house, and he goes, "All right, you ready to go?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, and he had a bandana. He goes, "Let me put my helmet on." He had a bandana on his head. And we took off down the street, hauling ass, dude. I was scared to death. We went to the bar. The darts. What else you got, JV?
I couldn't think of a serious comparison for this one, but I wanted to throw out the Vera leathers, the whole thing, the jacket with the pants,
The whole suit.
and something, but I couldn't think of anything else that really could.
Bill Walters.
A garbage bag.
Bill Walters had the same get up.
Oh yeah, BW had the same with the jacket.
Yep.
Yeah, that BW. I had a pair of those in the beginning with Riverside Schwinn. And
Dude,
those
that's a
beauty.
That is a hard question, actually, man, because those were both really comfortable. That the Bill Walters and Vera's that was all hand. You went and got measured for all that stuff, dude. It's like going to the tailor.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I just remember, I think the Vans team had, maybe Gas had
the
one
Vans
of those.
team had the Veras. Yep, for sure they did.
I'm going to go. I believe, I don't know if I did get a set of Veras or not. I think I got it. I think my mom maybe made some stuff instead of me getting Veras. My mom made she made racing pants for me.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
With the liners and everything in them.
Dude, I just posted a picture. on Facebook for the Dirty Fest ad, and it just said it's some squirrely kid. It's me.
Oh,
it's the oldest picture I have of me racing.
No way.
And these were the racing pants were some janky. They were from. Not kidding. Out of the closeout bin, closeout cardboard box at Malcolm Smith Motorcycles.
They're in Riverside,
and they're no brand, no name. And I at the same time, I'd saved my money mowing lawns, and I bought those pants. And at the same time, I bought a JT patch, and I sewed the pants.
Oh.
Yes.
So I
how
was
you
looking
do
at
it.
the picture really close, and I was like, "Those aren't JT pants."
That's how you do it,
I
man.
wonder if anyone's going to call me out on that.
Oh, I think I always wanted. I'm gonna go with Bill Walters, man. It always like Bill Walters, only because Bill Walters for some reason seemed unattainable for me. Where I knew people that had Veras, and I was almost like I could get. Bill Walters was like upper echelon for me. I don't know if that's how it was for you, Hollywood, but Bill Walters seemed like it was the premier at the time.
Well, it's because back in the day,
SE had those, right?
For me, that's what both the factory Schwinn and factory Mongoose guys. It was the factory Mongoose guys. That's
Oh,
that's what they
Mongoose,
wore.
you're
That was-
right. Yeah.
that was it.
I
That
can't
was-
believe you remembered that stuff, JV.
No, I just
Bill
well, I
Walters and
remember the
Veras?
Vera. You can't forget the Vera leather thing.
That's
The
crazy,
jacket
man.
with the pants.
Yeah,
We had a guy on the East Coast, Franco Perino, used to race for Thruster, and
had the whole kit.
He had the whole deal. Yeah.
I love it. Hollywood had it.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Well, guys, this was awesome, man. I'm glad we threw this together. It was fantastic.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah.
It did come together.
I love the debate. I love the debate.
Yeah, this is it was an unplanned one this morning, but we got her done. Hollywood's
Hey.
gonna rest easy.
Yeah. Now you
Okay.
can rest.
We got one in the can. He was super concerned, but here we are knocking it out.
Hey, guy. All right, man. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You.
Hey, Dirty Knobs, we're asking you, our friends, to make a donation on behalf of John Cruz to the Davis Finney Foundation, and that can be done at davisfinneyfoundation.org. That's DAVISPHINNEY foundation.org. Listen, your gift makes a difference, and together we're helping people live better and building healthier Parkinson's communities. So listen, on behalf of John Cruz and the three of us here at the Dirty Knobs, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that one, you bunch of dirty knobs. So please do that. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Comment if you have anything to say. We'd love to hear it. And we will be back out here in 2 weeks with another one. And thanks to our sponsors. Speaking of which, we are going to read some commercials to you now. Thanks for showing our sponsors the love, because they're showing it to us. Thanks again, and we'll catch up to you soon. And then sing it out right now.
All right, coming live and direct from the Colt Clubhouse in Santa Ana, California. Come on down and get all your BMX needs. We're giving away free air for your tires. That's all I got, brother.
That's great. That's great. All right, now.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
Kinda, designed for your journey. On the road, on the trail, or on the racetrack, you can count on Kinda quality. Our tires are engineered for performance and value across a wide range of interest and applications. See why Kinda is the right choice. It's your move.
Imagine how bikes can lead to a healthier, more connected world. Bikes set us apart, free to explore and move and experience our relationships with people and places like nothing else can. At Ceres, we don't just imagine a more bikeable world, we're all in, making it happen.
SR Sun Tour shares your passion of cycling. We are committed to giving you the highest level of service in the industry, along with products that hopefully will exceed your expectations. Serving riders is the cornerstone of our business, and we pride ourselves in doing it.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Velocity Bike Park is the premier bike park for riders in Southern California, with 25 miles of world-class trails, obstacles, flow track, and races for mountain biking, gravel, and BMX.
Ultramax balls. We sell big balls and little balls.
All kinds of balls. I like soccer. If you're feeling sporty, you should try our balls.
A balls.
Ultramax.
Not available where candy and puppies are sold, but you can buy Ultramax t-shirts at dirtyknobs.com.
Yeah.
That was perfect. Yes. Awesome, pork chop. And Justin, you may want to wipe off all the candy residue on the mic screen.
Hi everybody, Toby Henderson, founder of Box, co-founder of American BMX Companies, the owner of Race Inc., Botima, and Cook Brothers Racing. We brought these two companies together to bring you the best quality product you can get for a BMX bike. We're all about the rider, so please check out our Level Up and Rider First programs. See you at the track.
ODI Grips, the world leader in grip technology, home of the lock-on grip system. Check them out over at www.odigrips.com.
4416 Designs commercial, take one.
There you go. All right, 4416 Designs. We make shirts, but we don't sell them. We're just giving back to the sport. If you're out at Ukaipa BMX and you need a shirt, hit me up. I'll hook you up with one.
Yeah, I love that.
Mega Design Group is a full-service marketing firm. They handle everything from logos to advertising to packaging. Having over 25 years experience in the print and marketing fields, they can handle any hurdle. Check it out at megadesigngroup.com.
Carbone Cartel, for the finest carbon BMX racing products in the market. Make sure you check us out at carbonecartelbmx.com. Our products are ridden by the best in the sport. Drew Polk, Nick Long, and many, many more. This isn't the cheap shit you get from Ali Bobbitt. Make sure you check us out again at carbonecartelbmx.com.
Cool Stop Brake Pads. High performance bicycle brake pads since 1977. Check them out at coolstop.com. That's KOOLSTOP.com.
Supercross BMX. What can we say? Our lives revolve around BMX. Founded in 1989 to build the ultimate BMX race frame, they've never strayed from that vision. Hey, for more details, check it out at supercrossbmx.com.
Hey everyone, this is Brian Wilson with ProGate. We are the official gate supplier for UCI and the Olympics. We even make a gate that you can practice on in your driveway at home.
Wait a minute, who else are you making a gate for?
We're making a gate for Dirty Fest. You guys got to come and check it out. Whatever Dirty Fest needs for this track, we're going to supply it. We're not some French knockoff, you know. We're the gold standard in BMX gates. And make sure to check us out at progate.net and bmxtracksupply.com, and we'll see you at Dirty Fest for sure. Take care, everybody.
Amy Grips, still made here in the USA. Used by world champions like me, Tommy Brackens. If you want to know more about the best grips on earth, go to amy.com.
If you have a Senna cycling helmet, you know what it's like to ride connected. Senna got their start in communications for the motorcycling industry, where they're now a leader. Senna brought their same tech that goes into those helmet-to-helmet motorcycle communication systems into cycling helmets. Senna bike helmets have an integrated microphone and 2 speakers hidden right into the shell. Senna helmets connect together on a mesh or Bluetooth network so you can talk to your friends while you ride without shouting over wind noise, even if you're not side by side. That's super cool, especially in the trails. Senna helmets also pair with smartphones so you can listen to your playlist without blocking out ambient noise, and you can take phone calls and even hear turn-by-turn GPS directions.
Ready?
And that's going in.
Yeah. We need a doing.
What's your nickname for like on the mic? Do you have a?
No.
You don't have?
I don't really have a nickname. It's Mike.
Oh.
Just Mike on the mic.
Pain in my ass.
She got one.
That's getting edited.
Yeah.
We're putting that in.
Hi, I'm Mike Miller, author of Day One by Michael Miller. And a special offer going out. Anybody who buys the book between now and Dirty Fest, which is April 28th through 30th, I'm going to take all the money from the book and send it to the Davis Finney Foundation for those with Parkinson's. So get your copy on Amazon.com and we'll make a donation.
Hey, what was the name of that book again?
Day One by Michael Miller, which is me.
I'm sorry. Hey, what was that name again?
Day One by Michael Miller.
Hey, support the podcasts that support us, our friends. The fine folks over there at All Things BMX, which is our favorite Wednesday night live podcast, as you know. Our buddies over there at Beer Budget BMX, Big Bike BMX, and BMX Weekly. Check them out. Check them out. Our friends.
What's up, everybody? It's your friend Isaac from Big Bike BMX, and I've got a podcast with my best friend, 80s BMX Craig.
Yep. And guess what, you guys? If you have enjoyed your time here on the Dirty Knobs podcast, we'd love for you guys to come over and hang out with us at Big Bike BMX, where we've got all your old school legends and BMX from the past and today at Big Bike BMX. Isaac,
come check us out. We'd love the opportunity to win you over. And if not, hey, it's just another place to talk about BMX with your grimy friends. It's fun.
Hey, Dale Holmes, I want to tell you something. One of my favorite podcasts that I never miss is BMX Weekly. Even though it has an accent, I still love it.
Cheers, Mike. You can get all the podcasts on bmxweekly.com. Old school, mid school, today's school. Check it out.
Yeah, BMX Weekly.
Hey, here we go. Hey, Beer Budget BMX, baby. Coming at you live from the Beer Budget studios over here at the Hack Shack Quarantine. Oh, man, we're coming in hotter than Satan's nutsack. Yeah, we are dirtier than an Alabama strip club where reclass pros go and get lap dances by their half-sister. Yeah, the only show that'll make you second-guess your life choices like a Amish on an e-bike.
Hey, if you guys enjoy what you just listened to, make sure you tune in every Wednesday night to the All Things BMX show, the only live streaming podcast show in the game right now. Even ask Mike. He's been on. Vicente's been on. Still waiting for that other guy to come on the show. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And you can also find us at allthingsbmxshow.com.
Keep it dirty.
I am not getting a tattoo.
I am not getting a tattoo.
Okay.
I don't know why you think that I'm going to get one.
Because you said you were going
And
to.
then you're going to now edit that and get rid of not?
I love that you're smart like me.
I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one.
Even though you said that. Even though you said that.
No, I didn't say it.
I told you I'd show you proof.
Yeah, well. Wait to see that one. I am getting a tattoo.
Okay.
I don't know why you think that I'm not going to get one.
Because you said you were going
And
to.
then you're going to now edit that and get rid of not?
I love that you're smart like me.
No, he's still on the phone. He's still on the phone. I did morning sunshine, and he's like, "Oh."
My parole officer doesn't know I'm doing this.
Sounds like a toilet's running over there. I hear a toilet running. Can you hear it? It is something dripping.
I hear it too.
Maybe it's EC taking a leak or something.
If that's it, he's got gonorrhea. It's got to be EC's prostate problem.